Fill in the highest or the lowest number. We see here 4 random numbers. Now we have a 7, a 5, a 2, and a 3. So if you were asked to make the biggest number possible, what would you do? So you would start with the biggest number, the 7, and then you work your way down. So let's make the biggest number possible. So 7, let's cross that off. Now what would be the next biggest number? Right, it would be 5. Okay, now what's bigger, 2 or 3? Right, 3. Okay, and lastly, we have the 2 as the smallest. So the biggest number we could possibly make was 7,532. Okay, so now let's make the smallest number possible from these numbers. So what would you start off with? So the smallest number we have is 2. Okay, next would be 3. Then the 5. And lastly, the 7. So the smallest number we could possibly make was 2,357. So as you can see, we are just working backwards that time. All right, new problem. So we have a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 1. So again, let's make the biggest number possible. So what number would we start off with? Right, the 6. 6 is the biggest number we have. Okay, and 1 minus 6 is the 5, so that's next. And minus 1 again from the 5, and then we have the 4. And our smallest number we have is the 1. So the biggest number we could make was 6,541. So now let's make the smallest number possible. So we would start off with the 1. Then we would do the 4, the 5, and lastly, the 6. So the smallest number we could make was 1,456. Okay, now we have a 5, a 1, an 8, and a 4. So what number would we start off with? Right, the 8. Okay, next biggest number is the 5, and then the 4, and the 1. So we have 8,541. Okay, so now let's make the smallest number. So we would start off with the 1, then the 4, the 5, and the 8. So the smallest number we could possibly make was 1,458. All right, great work solving these problems, and good luck solving your next math problems.